Howdy. So, I've been asked by multiple people recently to do a follow-up on the Iron Snail Mammoth Leaf jacket that I've now had for about a year. And I had a good opportunity this morning to do it, so I'm going for it. Let's see, it is... Oh, this is still at my body temperature. I'll leave it out for a bit. Got a thermometer. Should be about 9 degrees right now, and I figure that's a good general temperature to stand around and give a review of this thing about. It looks like I haven't worn it practically. I've been using this thing, like, I wear it in the garage. I rebuilt a snow thrower engine, and a whole bunch of other parts of it last year. Successfully, I'm pleased to say. That's not really my background. And I use it whenever I'm like working outside and I'm not at my job. I've taken it on quite a few hikes. I wear it when I'm shoveling. So it's gotten quite a bit of use, and like just like the Filson Mackinac, like the wool doesn't. I guess eventually the fuzz will wear off and I'll start seeing the weave, but that isn't even close to happening. But like when I put it on, like it basically looks new. It's got that characteristic of wool where it seems to shed dirt, and there's no. It just doesn't seem to hold dirt or stains or anything. In spite of my having interacted with more grease than I would have liked to have interacted with while wearing this. I know I've also had like metal shavings and all kinds of dust around it, and it just doesn't seem to hold it. Looks basically new. The only thing that's changed in terms of it breaking in is the buttons are easy to button. They start very hard to button because the wool starts real stiff. It is in every way an improvement over the cruiser that it replaced. It is basically an unlined Filson Mackinac with much larger pockets and a taller collar. And if anyone's ever worn a Filson in the wind, you know, like, that jacket is great until the wind picks up, and oh my God, you wish that collar was taller. And you wish you could really batten yourself down the way that you can in the Mammoth. And the big pockets have just been a huge help. I've had like 2 wrenches, two channel locks, and a couple of bolts, and a pair of gloves in just one of these pockets, and it didn't even look particularly bulged. So, yeah, they're really capacious pockets, and I love it. I absolutely love this thing. There are going to be changes to the version 3, which is coming up pretty soon, and I'm looking forward to hopefully snagging one because of the nature of some of those changes. As I pointed out in the last video, not bad, but like if I do certain kinds of reaching, you can see like I still have my range of motion, but I hit like right at the end of it. There's a little bind right at that point in my back. Michael mentioned retooling the way the seams are done to be less bulky, and I hadn't really contemplated how the seams felt until he said that in a post on Reddit, and I was like, oh yeah, I could see there being less overlapping material here being nice. That wasn't even a critique I would have thought of, but I see that as an improvement. I know this pocket is going to be bigger, and I'm really pleased by that because, like, I have very small hands, especially for a man, and I can't fully get my hand in there, and that's no bueno. I do still use this dump pocket quite a bit, but it would be a lot better if I could get my hand inside it. Also, these pockets Well, they're being rearranged. I think this one's going to be a bit taller, which I would prefer. I'm not sure if this one's growing, but like the space these take up, and therefore the volume they can take is going to increase. And I'm looking forward to that because more pocket space is great. I know there's also some adjustments being made to the collar, and actually that's good. And let me show you why. So I do love this collar. It is way better than the Filson collar, but let me show you the jacket that I often wear these days at work. So I am an apprenticing water operator with Maine Rural Water Association, and I often have to wear high vis when I'm out on the roads, or it helps interacting with the public too. It just gives a general I belong here vibe versus something like this. And show you here. So this is the Tilly removable liner insulated high-vis jacket that I've been wearing for work. I love it for entirely different reasons. And see my ID. So, I do love this jacket a lot. I've worn this jacket with appropriate other clothing down to below zero in the wind and been fine. And I often have to be out much of or all day when I'm at work. I don't always get to go inside. So dressing for the weather is a big deal. Now, let me show you something about this collar. It's taller even than the Mammoth. Did I muffle my voice? It's taller even than the Mammoth. It really gets up there. But here's the other thing. Notice I have a turtleneck on right now. Pretty bulky one. And when I zip this up, there's no pressure or binding against my neck. There's room for the turtleneck, as well as it's just generally taller. It actually like covers the base of my ears a little bit. That is really nice in the wind, let me tell you. So, now that you've seen that, let me switch back again. Sorry, no editing. Back to the Mammoth, which, by the way, much more breathable. Can get a little, you have to be careful not to get sweaty in that because it's a rain shell with insulation inside. So the garments just kind of work differently. Like, they're not interchangeable garments. But it gets a little snug. Me trying to button it. I actually don't do, no. That's too pinchy. I can't really button this up if I'm wearing a turtleneck underneath, which means I don't get that cozy double heat. I would love that. I would love to have that. But the other thing is, even when it is battened up, you can see it's not quite as high, right? It's not quite as big and tall. And also, if I really go for, like, if the Tilly was zipped up, you can see that's just a little, can you see my face being squished? It's a little tight. I wish this had the looseness that the Tilly has for me to be able to layer underneath and also just have this thing, like, snorkeled up. My understanding is that there's going to be some adjustments made to both the collar and to the body of the jacket to be more voluminous, more workwear-like in general. I think Michael has said repeatedly he's found out that a lot of people do not, in fact, have his body type. And, you know, designers always do design for their bodies. That's a thing. But I believe the collar is getting taller, as well as volume increasing overall. That is something that I hope is accurate, and I'm looking forward to as a change, because it would improve the design overall. That is extremely functional. This is pretty good. It is better than the Filson. That would be even better. Let's see. What other things did I critique last time that could be better? Mine isn't wind wall, so I can't speak to that. Honestly, though, it has to be pretty cold and pretty windy for me to notice that this doesn't have a wind barrier. It's really dense wool and it works really well. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this buttoning pattern. I know he hasn't changed the number of buttons, but I kind of hope the adjustments and fit change this. I either have this buttoned, you can see where this button lands as I bend down. See how it's like not quite allowing this fabric to part, and so it gets a little bit of strain as I ease down. I wish that weren't so, because this, I either have to have it open a little too high. See what I mean? That's a little too high, a little too heat lossy. In some shirts, that's a little weirdly revealing. It's a little odd. But like when I go to sit in the car and drive, or when I'm moving around, I can tell, I just feel that button is getting like a little more stressed than I would like it to. And then if I do button to the bottom button, which I don't usually do, that's actually a little constricting. Yeah, I have to lift this a bit, right? Which is actually one of the reasons I've been enjoying the sealed bottom of a bomber jacket for some work tasks in the winter. So I would love that to be something that changes in terms of the fit with the new version. That might also just change with the volume of the body and the overall fit changing. I should mention that was somewhat of an issue with the Filson too. It's a little more of an issue with this one, but I had that issue with the Filson too, where I was between buttons and it was weird. That's a nitpick, but it's my nitpick, and maybe it's something you'll notice now too about your jackets. But sorry, I've had an awful cold, and it is awful cold out. But that's all I can think of for critiques. I looked forward to wearing this all summer, all spring, all summer, and into the fall until it got cold enough. I was waiting for a chance. I couldn't wait for it to be cold enough to wear this thing. And I was so elated the first time I got to wear it. I love it every time I put it on to go to the mailbox. I love it every time I wear it. It makes me happy, and I would never get rid of this version either. But what I really want, so I mentioned I'm working as an apprenticing water operator. When I'm wearing, we don't have a uniform, we pick our own clothes, but I've been picking a wardrobe that is mostly black and blue to go with that job, except for high vis. And like royal blue, black and royal blue. And I know there's a blue one coming this time, and I would really love to snag a blue one, and have that be like a jacket that I can work out and about in, because although it wouldn't be good for being on the road, you need to wear high vis when you're on the road. There's a lot of work I do outside at the pump house, and that gets pretty sweaty. Like I say, great for wind blocking, but that is pretty sealed up. And this is very breathable, and it's why I love working in it. It sheds snow and moisture off. When I snow blow, I get like white like one of the kids in Christmas Story, and then I just shake it off like a bear. Um, I would love to have a blue Mammoth with wind wall technology in addition to this, and that one would be my work jacket for being outside and being more breathable, but still being able to go to very low temperatures. I'll show you what I'm wearing right now just to give you an idea of comfort range. So let's see, where will I throw this? Will that branch accommodate too? Let's see. Well, it doesn't like it, but it seems like it might do it. I might dump them in the snow. We'll see. So I'm wearing the Mammoth Leaf, so no wind wall, and then literally just a. Now everybody finds out I really need to cut my hair. I'm months overdue. Turns out when you switch to a new job, you can't use the same hairdresser due to schedule. I'm literally just wearing a black cotton t-shirt underneath. I don't even have like a net and wool underlayer like I might normally have on a cold day, and I'm very warm. Just the sweater and the leaf is fine for, what's the current temperature? 10 degrees. It started out 9 degrees, now it's 10 degrees. And so I think with some wind wall technology, I could easily take a Mammoth down to any temperature I'd normally encounter in Maine and be totally fine. So, anything else to say? Not really. I love this thing. I'm so glad it exists. I can't believe that, you know, I know people have been frustrated about the drops in the scheduling and trying to set up supply chains, but to me, I am in so much admiration of what Michael's been able to do in creating a product that absolutely pantses Filson in terms of its functionality. And I mean, that is a time-proven functional design, and this is a better design. And costs less. Really costs what Filson used to cost, but costs less than Filson, and he has no benefit of efficiencies of scale, economies of scale and efficiencies of scale. Like, you know, the first run of these, he was warehousing in his apartment back when he was living in New York. And I'm just in awe at the accomplishment that he's been able to make with this. And the fact that he is, I think, like, we're in a amazing period with this company, the Iron Snail, because, like, right now we're still personally interacting, if you're on Reddit or commenting on YouTube, with Michael directly and giving him critiques about and input about what we like and don't like, and that's being listened to and integrated into new product, and like that's a really cool, exciting thing. So I'm really excited for the new drop, and we'll see. If I get a blue one, I'll talk about the differences. If I don't, then I'll wait, because he's busy establishing the supply chains to be able to make these a regularly available item. But the idea that this, which was an improvement over my favorite winter coat, could be better is very exciting to me. And if that's exciting to you, I think you should try to get one. And then, yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about that. But I wanted to put this out because I know the drop is coming soon, and people I think people have been commenting at me more about following up on this because they're excited about that or they're anticipating about it maybe. Um, like I say, I'm not. Well, I didn't say yet. I'm not really a YouTuber. I put this out because no one else had a video about it at all, which I find very strange. A lot of people did get them. No one really seemed to do a review about one, and I don't think anyone reviewed one in any form, text or any, even in a comment, in like a workwear capacity, which is really how I bought this. Um, I bought my previous Filson that I sold after I got this because I used to have I didn't serve in the Forest Service, but I had a Forest Service cruiser, and that one was in 30-ounce wool. That thing was amazing. Slightly different green, too. And I got Lyme disease in 2015, and a friend of mine was going to be working for a tree company doing electrical line trimming in the middle of winter, and he had nothing anywhere near warm as you need for doing that. And I was never going to fit into that jacket again. I still couldn't. I gained weight that I've never fully lost when I got that. So I gifted him that jacket. And then I missed having a Filson really, really badly for years. And finally, I found one for a price that was acceptable to me and got it. And I was so happy, and I wore it for years. And then Michael came out with this, the leaf version, the green leaf version, and I was like, oh, that sounds like it's everything I love about the Filson with improvements to the things that annoy me. And it has been. I love this. This is what I wished my Filson would be, and it sounds like the next version of the leaf will be what I wish this was. But I still wear this in incredible gratitude. Because it's great. It's a terrific garment. I love wearing it. I love working in it. So anyway, I hope this input is helpful to people. And I hope this satisfies the folks who wanted to hear a follow-up. Merry post-Christmas, Happy New Year, and maybe I'll see you later. We'll see.